This is sports stuff, betting stuff.
Betting.
I mean, I'm not excited. Guys, we're not doing well.
Who?
Some of us are doing more mediocre than others.
Compared to last year, we were good.
We can look back at the records. I don't know if good is the term I would use.
Yeah.
But this is Sports Stuff Betting Stuff, number one sports betting podcast coming out of the sports stuff with Jim and Muff Enterprise. I'm your host, Muff, the original degenerate, joined by Alex.
The medical degenerate.
And by Jim. Oh, sorry. I apologize, Alex. Go ahead, do your thing.
That's me.
And Jim?
I am the original Ohio Homer, still relatively novice at being a degenerate in the gambling world.
Gambling world. Different topic, different day.
Yes.
So for any new listeners, how we run through this is we will go over last week's best bets on the football world. Then we will dive into the college football and NFL slates for the week, and then we will go over our best bets for the upcoming weekend, along with specialty picks as we move through the losses, the wins, the heartbreak.
There was some heartbreak. God.
There was some heartbreak. So let's start out this week, and let's go Alex, Muff, Jim in our breakdown of our best bets.
So I went 500 this last week, which, I'll take it. Half and half. I did much better in the college world, winning the Tennessee -3 at LSU bet, the Iowa +3.5 at Illinois bet, and the UNC +3.5 at Miami bet. I did lose Kansas State -2 at Iowa State by 1. They won by 1 point in a shit ass game.
In a poopy game.
In the NFL, I did not do as well. I went 1-3. I lost Jags -7 versus Texans, Eagles -5.5 Cardinals, and the Lions +3.5 at Patriots. And I did win the 49ers -6.5 at the Panthers. So 4-4 overall.
Okay, I, Muff, went 3-4-1. We have our first push. Jim and I shared this push for the weekend. I went 1-2 in college. I won Ohio State to cover 26.5 versus Michigan State. I lost Maryland to cover 3.5 versus Purdue. And I was on the other side of the Iowa-Illinois game. Illinois did not cover 3.5. Losses for me. And then I went 2-2-1 in the NFL, with the push being Vikings -7 versus the Bears. My wins were the 49ers to cover 6.5 versus the Panthers, and the Raiders plus the points 7.5 versus the Chiefs. And my losses were the Commanders +2.5 and Chargers -2.5 versus the Browns.
I went 4-6-1, as we've said. I got that push from the Vikings game. The Lions finally let me down. The Jags let me down. Won in the 49ers. That's my NFL. Oh, and I lost the Chargers game by 0.5 point. In college, I felt good. Lost that Utah game. UNC money line, making that money. The Ohio State game, hit that. The Kansas State game, lost by 0.5 point. Lost the Purdue game and hit that Tennessee game.
All right, which brings our running best bets records for the year. Alex is in first place at an even 500 at 24-24.
Kobe week.
Kobe.
It'll be big. It'll be huge.
Huge. I'm at 18-19-1, and Jim is at 20-30-1.
Yeah. Got a long way to the top if I want to rock and roll.
It's going to be a long way to the top. We did experience success in our special picks this week. The Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week.
Pow, 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 pow.
Winner, 49ers to cover -6.5 over the Panthers, which brings that to 2-4 for the year. And the often renamed, never duplicated, but always interesting Neil Brown risky pick of the week. Winner, North Carolina money line against Miami, Florida, which brings that to 3-3.
Feeling good about the risky pick.
I have a proposition later for the risky pick.
Yeah, I'm not changing the name.
Why?
I like it. I like it. We're letting it ride.
Alex, you were the one that was okay with this, so
I am okay with it, but I thought this was our attempt to get people fired, and I changed my mind, and I think there's someone else I would rather be fired at this point.
Well, bring forth because this is your time. I'm not letting it change. So state your case, and I'll consider it. Who needs fired?
Matt Canada.
Who's Matt Canada?
the Steelers offensive coordinator. Yes, he does need fired, Alex, but
Nope.
we have not gotten to the coordinator realm yet with this pick.
This is for a head coach firing only.
The MC Risky.
Nope. Neil Brown, risky pick of the week. I'm taking out that West Virginia coach.
Well, then spell it right in the notes.
Okay, sorry about that.
I
That was probably me.
I still want Neil Brown to be fired.
Okay, well, then it's still appropriate.
I don't like him anymore. I just like Matt Canada less and less and less.
Okay. So we also have a couple parlays, neither of which were successful. The Muff parlay of death.
Was so close.
Parlay of death.
I want to bring to the table we retire this.
We'll get to that. Let's see how
Okay.
we feel once we get through our best bets and everything. The Muff parlay of death was 3-1. So that was kind of unfortunate.
But it died early.
It died on Saturday, so UNC plus the points was a win on Saturday, and it lost Kansas State -2.
Half of a point.
And then we won both of the picks. Well, sorry, we also had Ohio State to cover, was a win on Saturday, and the 49ers to cover was a win on Sunday. So we were half a point away from hitting the parlay of death this week.
Whose game was it?
I think that was Alex.
Mm-hmm.
You approve.
Mm-hmm. I know.
And I don't think the other one, it was Eagles. I don't think the Eagles covered, did they?
Did not.
Yeah.
Nope.
So it would have gone south either way. It's just we would have been spoiled on Sunday instead of Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have hurt more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Alex had a leaner parlay. Alex, I'll let you run through that.
It was 1-3-1 because I lost Memphis -3, which freaking stunk because literally looked like they were going to cover it with like 2 minutes left. I was like, this is a great start. And then Ohio State covered. Utah pooped the bed and did not cover. Northwestern didn't cover, and Kansas was a push at +7. I said this was not a good take, but then I started thinking this week, and I was like, do I want to do another one?
I wouldn't mind doing another one. Depends on what your leaners are.
Okay, I'm going to decide later.
Yeah.
All right. So that is the recap of last week.
Mm-hmm.
Get into this week. I'm going to let you two go through the college lines because I think you two have more to say on this.
Yeah. Go ahead, Alex. I'll let you read them off.
Okay. All right. So Thursday night, we have Baylor at WVU. Baylor is -3.5, over under 54.5.
I'm a big fan of Baylor on this one.
For sure.
Make us think otherwise, Alex.
It's the only thing I can say is it's a Thursday night game at WVU. Baylor has not played up to their potential. I'm not confident enough to put my money on WVU, so I won't talk you out of it if you want Baylor. I like the over maybe in this game, over 54.5, because it's a Big 12 game. 54 is not a ton. But I will stay away from this as I don't like to bet on my team. Someone gave me the advice one time that I should bet on. I don't know if I said this advice already on the show, but you should bet against your team every week because then one of two things happens. You're excited because you won, or you lost, but at least you made a little bit of money. And that was not a terrible philosophy. Won't be following it, but
that's only on money line bets though, right?
Sure, yeah.
You could pick your team plus the points and still lose.
Yeah.
Or you could pick them to cover and still lose.
You're right.
I'm going to shy away from this because it's Thursday in Morgantown, but I say smart money takes Baylor.
The next game on the slate is Iowa State at Texas. Texas -16.5. The over-under in this game is 49.5.
I think the spread is too high. I like Texas,
Mm-hmm.
but the spread is high.
It is an overreaction. I mean,
Yes.
You saw what happened last week. In my mind, this is an overreaction. I think Texas wins by 10-14, but I don't know if 16 is a number that I feel comfortable with.
This is my first leaner bet. Texas, Iowa State over 49.5.
I don't mind that. That's a nice way. I like that leaner. It's not bad.
My only thought is that Iowa State is going to try to control the clock a little bit in this game. And if they can do that for the first half, I see this being a low scoring game in the first half.
Sure, but it's 49, right? 49 and a half.
Yeah, I don't think Texas put up, not that Oklahoma has a good defense, but Texas put up what, 47 points on them.
Mm-hmm.
I think Texas could put up another with Quinn Ewers playing. I think Texas could easily put up, another 40, and I feel like Iowa State could probably put up 10. Like, I think it was an anomaly that,
like I said, it's a nice leaner. I can't complain. I no complaints here.
I think we're looking at like a 35-14 game. That's within the realm of possibility in my mind. So I won't talk you out of it. I'm just saying that's how I see the under hitting, is a closer first half that turns into a grind in the second half.
It's fair, but it's still leaner. Auburn at Ole Miss. Ole Miss favored by 14.5, over under 55.5. Jim, I know that
I love the Ole Miss here.
Yeah.
The slow start to the Vandy kind of makes me nervous. I think Auburn getting destroyed by Penn State and Georgia kind of makes me go, man, this is doable. I'm way too far down in my bets to be going gambling like that.
Oh, I'm on Ole Miss to cover. Auburn has not shown the ability to slow down any type of offensive power. And I mean, Penn State is not an offensive juggernaut, but is able to put up points. And I think Ole Miss, with their offensive style of play, is going to get a lot of possessions, a lot of plays in. And I just don't think that Auburn can keep up with points if Ole Miss starts getting on the board and Ole Miss just runs away. I say Ole Miss by 3 touchdowns.
Muff just made that interesting.
Yeah.
What about the over here, boys?
I do not trust Auburn to contribute.
You are really down on Auburn.
I mean, do we have any reason to not be? Against a quality opponent?
Yeah, I mean that's a solid argument. Ooh, Muff.
I'm an Auburn supporter, and I'm down on them. Moving on to the next game, Minnesota at Illinois. Minnesota minus 6.5, over under 39.5.
I like Illinois with the points bad, but really? Minnesota rowing that boat.
Well, Minnesota, I believe, gets back one of the top 3 backs in the Big Ten in Ibrahim this week.
How do you know this, Muff? Where did you hear this?
He was game time decision last week and didn't play. So I've got to assume with a week of rest, he's ready to go. I think that's why we're seeing this line without him. I think it's probably about an even bet. It's a pick 'em. I honestly would lean towards the over here. That's a lean. That's not a best bet, but if I was going any direction, I'd go towards the over. Without knowing the situation with Minnesota, how their offense is going to function with the number 1 back in the picture, I don't want to mess with the line.
Yeah, you made me nervous. Muffin is inside ball. I'm out.
Yeah, I was looking to see if I could get a definitive on when he would be coming back or not. But
next up, Kansas at Oklahoma. Oklahoma minus 9 to Kansas.
I am all over Kansas in this.
Over under 62.5.
Kansas plus 9.
Muff.
Yeah. I believe that this line indicates, and I have not done any recon on this, that Oklahoma is getting Gabriel back at quarterback. They got destroyed last week because their backup was in for the whole game. I can't imagine a ranked Kansas team taking on Oklahoma with their backup after what happened last week with the absolute shellacking at the hands of Texas. This has to mean that Gabriel's back at quarterback.
Yeah, he's expected to play versus Kansas. So.
Yeah. So I'm going to stay away from it because Oklahoma, if he's able to play the whole game, I think Oklahoma does win this game. Without him, Kansas plus the points is the best bet. I would even take Kansas money line if this was the line. But again, with Gabriel playing, that's why the line is what it is.
Muff coming in hot with this inside track. I like this, Muff.
They started off as an 8-point favorite, and they're now to a 9.
Yeah.
Favorite.
So all the money in the public is on Oklahoma at the 8. So that line could go to 10.
Yeah.
By the weekend.
I might hesitate before I put my money down, but Kansas plus the points is my play.
Yeah. If you hold off on it, Alex, you might get 9.5, 10 by Saturday.
Yeah. So I'll own it that right now it's +9, and as of the show, I'll make it +9 my best bet, but I probably won't put it down until maybe Saturday morning.
So even with Muff's inside knowledge, you're going to stick with the Kansas bet.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to stay away. Muff and his voodoo is working his magic on me.
The next game we have Penn State at Michigan. Michigan is favored by 6.5 over under 51.5. Give me Penn State.
Muff.
Staying away. I'm staying away.
Gun to your head.
Gun
to your head.
Under.
I really? Yeah, I guess 51.5.
Mm-hmm.
So I, as you know, work with some Michigan people. And I was told today that Michigan will win by 3 scores.
That's
3 scores.
You can tell those people that they're full of dog doo-doo.
And I said, all right, bet me. Let's go.
Yeah.
And they went, blah, 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 blah. And I went, all right, so what's it going to be? Like, tell me where you want to go with it.
Yeah.
He gave me 14 points. I have Penn State and 14 points. The stakes are lunch.
Bargain into 17 and hit the button.
I took 14 at lunch. Lunch, I'm not. Okay. It's no big deal, right. You know. But I think Michigan's going to win. I think Penn State's going to win. I think that's my heart screaming. I like Penn State to win this one by 7.
I think if Penn State wins, it's going to be a field goal game.
I disagree.
Which, given the history of James Franklin, is not a good situation. Close games.
8 plus 6.5.
You're taking Penn State with the points?
Yes.
You hammering it home?
Yep.
I agree with you.
Hey, yeah. I'm not going to oppose any of what you're saying.
I'm not making it a best bet because I've already got this side bet. And if I lose, I don't want to lose lunch and more money.
That's true.
Lunch plus your side of lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have lunch on my end. So Maryland at Indiana. Maryland is favored minus 11.5 over under 61.5. I like Maryland in this game, kind of, but
I would err toward or lean towards Maryland, but after last week, are they just going to be deflated? It's at Indiana, which shouldn't mean anything, but I just feel like Maryland's going to come out flat. Indiana has an opportunity to catch them in the first quarter and ride that out.
Spread's too high.
Yeah, I'm not going to bet it. If I had to, though, I'd pick Maryland. Arkansas at BYU. Arkansas minus 1.5 over under 66.5. I would under. Go ahead.
I'm staying the hell away from it because it's Arkansas and they've let me down this year. And the whole Notre Dame BYU thing last week, it just seems like an ugly game to me.
But that's why I'm saying, what about the under at 66.5?
I still, who knows?
Those are two teams that could catch fire and put up points.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. It's lightning in a bottle, Alex. Lightning in a bottle.
I'm not taking it. I was just saying that.
Yeah.
That looks ugly.
Okay. Oklahoma State at TCU. TCU minus 3.5 over under 68.5.
That's another one that I got rid of off my sheet so that I didn't have to look at it because I'm very attracted to the TCU, taking TCU minus the points. I don't want to look at it because it's a Big 12 game and I'm at this record because of the Big 12. But I think TCU covers that all day.
I will not be betting on this game, but I will absolutely be watching it. But
So
I would lean Oklahoma State plus the points.
okay, so it looks like none of us have a real clear answer of this one. Good.
yeah, no, not at all. But it's a good game, so it made the list. Alabama at Tennessee. Bama -7 over under 65.5.
My heart says Tennessee. My
My-
brain says Alabama.
Nope, my money says Tennessee
Ooh.
+7.
Muff,
+7.
I'm staying away from this all the way every day.
gun to your head.
Gun to my head. Gun to my head. Let's take the home team plus the points.
Anything on that, Jim?
You're taking the points too, Alex?
I'm taking the points, but I don't even want you to because I just don't feel like being harassed when you lose.
That's a leaner for me.
NC State at Syracuse. Syracuse is favored -3.5. Over under 42.5.
What does Vegas know? There's
Yeah.
got to be a reason for this, and this is one of those where the public's probably be an NC State plus the points, but there's got to be like some whales and some sharks going at the Q's for some reason, and I don't know that reason, so I'm staying away.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way. The NC State line kind of tries to draw you in, but yeah, no. All right, moving on to the next one is Wisconsin at Michigan State. Wisconsin -7.5 over under 49.5.
So the drumming that Michigan State took from Ohio State and Wisconsin looking good again makes you want to take Wisconsin.
Yep. Yes, it does, and I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's a leaner for me.
Wisconsin is up and down, and until they prove they're up, there's no way I'm going to trust it.
Michigan State has no running game. Zero, nada, nil. What does Wisconsin have?
They're Wisconsin. That's about the only thing I think people are hanging their hat on.
So the
here.
under then, not a bad pick.
Yeah,
I'm not going to talk you out of it.
yeah, that's reasonable.
I'm flirting with the under.
Okay, all right. I will lean on Wisconsin. They're a leaner for me right now. LSU at Florida. Florida -3 in the swamp. Over under 52.5.
Alex and I talked about this one prior to the show.
Mm-hmm.
I want Florida so bad because I want to see Brian Kelly just keep getting smacked around. It's in the swamp. That spread's attractive. I honestly I'd also like the under. I don't think they're going to hit 52 points is in my heart, but I'm definitely leaning towards Florida -3.
That makes sense. LSU, I expected them to do more last week, and this is another one of those. Brian Kelly's an idiot.
Yes.
I'm finally there with you, Jim.
Thank you.
Yeah, no,
I really wish we could do some kind of meme or something where Brian Kelly's an idiot. This is a good day.
I really question Florida -3. I really put some thought into it, but I'm going to stay away. Mississippi State at Kentucky. Mississippi State -4.5 over under 48.5.
I like Mississippi State. I'm gonna hammer it home, I think.
It is a best bet for me as well.
Okay. Yeah, this is a trending pick. Kentucky's been down the past couple weeks. Mississippi State is, I think, the superior team. What is Will Levis's situation?
He practiced.
Okay.
It's still not positive that he will play this week. Especially because apparently Kentucky has a bye the following week. So I don't know if they'll give him a couple weeks to kind of recuperate.
Or
pushing.
play him knowing that he's got more time to recover if he's like borderline right
Yeah.
now.
So
Like
I
that can
don't.
go either way.
Yeah.
And they're not chasing anything.
Yeah, I think this is one of those lines that could change on Saturday when the status of Will
Yeah,
Levis is determined.
Day to day for now.
Yeah.
So I think that it might swing. I mean, in favor of Mississippi State pretty strong if it's confirmed that Will Levis isn't playing. To be honest, Mississippi State has looked good. So I'm gonna stick with it though. Mississippi State -4.5 would be a best bet of mine. The next on the list is Clemson at Florida State. Clemson is favored by 3.5 points over under 51.
Push the button for Clemson to cover.
I
Push the button.
I like Clemson. Part of me, remember we talked about Florida State going to be catching someone?
Yeah, but don't trick yourself on this one. They're not catching Clemson. Stop it.
Yeah, this is one of those in my mind. I'm playing checkers, not chess.
Yeah.
Let's move down the board, get kinged, and come back
Okay.
and tear him down.
All right. I'm going to keep it as a leaner then because I really did like Clemson -3.5, but I wanted to hear what everyone else said. It's a leaner though, not committing. Jim?
I'm hammer that one home.
All right. Nebraska at Purdue. Purdue -13.5 over under 56.5.
Nope. No, thank you. Bye bye. Spread's too high. Goodbye.
Nebraska's always so good to you.
Yeah.
Does Scott Frost not being the coach in the future change your thoughts on Nebraska at all? As far
Depends
as
on who they get, I think.
Okay. If they get Paul Christ.
I would probably dabble again in Nebraska.
Paul Crispin would be a bad pick for Nebraska.
No.
I agree.
I don't see Matt Rule at Nebraska.
No.
I think Matt Rule needs a year of recovery. He's going to find himself somewhere next year, but it's going to be.
He'll be an offensive coordinator. He'll be an offensive consultant at Alabama.
Yep,
something like that.
That's perfect.
Stanford. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Stanford at Notre Dame. Notre Dame is favored by 16.5 points over under 53.5.
Don't care.
Touchdown, Jesus.
You taking it?
Give me Notre Dame at home in a rivalry game. Stanford on a down year. Notre Dame trending up.
I do not hate that pick from Muff.
You're taking minus the points.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I'm rooting for Notre Dame, and I would have to be doing that.
Yeah, I'm not. No. Under no circumstances, no.
Them and their top 5 mascot winning.
You're crazy.
Their top 5 mascot. USC at Utah. Utah -3.5 over under 64.5. Give me USC all day.
Alex, this is a trap.
I don't care.
So that's what we talked about before. We're waiting for you to tell us why it's a trap.
Right? All of the public money is probably on USC plus the points. So that line could come down to 3 by the weekend in my mind. I haven't watched enough USC because, those games happen late for us. I've watched some Utah. Cam Rising, I think this is a step up game for him. And I think he plays up to the competition at home, probably homecoming week. And I think there's just enough incentive for Utah to win or keep this game with Utah to win. Utah to win. I just think it's a trap. I really do for the people with the USC thought.
I'm sticking with it.
Leaner.
And all right. The next game on the slate is UNC at Duke. UNC -7 over under 66.5.
My wife says take Duke.
Well, I don't hate that pick. I've liked Duke all year. Duke +7 would not be a bad pick.
Muff.
If this is basketball, I would choose to bet, but I'm going to choose to stay away.
Gun to your head. Make a pick.
UNC cover.
Yeah, I'm not going to take it either. I don't feel that confident in it, but I do like. I don't. Gun to my head, I might say Duke +7. UNC seems to like games like this.
I'm gonna lean on that one too. I'm very, very apprehensive about betting this week, fellas.
I know, I see that. It's Kobe week. You got to go all out. Ice
I
in the
hear
paint.
ya.
Washington State at Oregon State. Oregon State minus 3.5 over under 52.5. I love Washington State.
Don't care.
Yeah, you're a big fan of Washington State, and I'm not saying you don't have reason to be in this game. I think at Oregon State means something here, so staying away.
I'm keeping it, but I appreciate your input. That wraps up our college games that I had listed there. Does anyone have anything else to add?
No.
Nope.
Don't know what the hell I'm going to do this weekend. No Ohio State game.
I know.
You're gonna watch Penn State, Michigan, and either be happy or sad.
Yeah, that's about right. Is that a noon game too?
Yeah, it's the
Good grief.
big noon kickoff on Fox.
Muff,
All right.
you taking over for the NFL?
Yeah, I'll get into the NFL here. The NFL lines for the week in Thursday Night Football, we've got Commanders at Bears. Bears to cover over under 37.5. I am going to throw everything out the window that I've ever said about Thursday night games, and I'm going to put money on the Commanders' money line against the Bears.
So literally, you followed a rule for 1 week. So I mean, when we say throw it out the window, I mean you really holding on to it very tight.
And you did say you were going to fade the Bears.
Yeah, that's really what I'm going for here. Fade Bears.
Go Commanders, fade Bears. Got it. I'm not saying it's a bad pick. All right.
I was wondering if I was going to follow you on this one.
To put as a lean, figure it out later.
Yeah,
Next,
good call.
Buccaneers at Steelers. Bucks minus 8.5 over under 43.5 points. Staying away, staying away, staying away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely staying away. This could be a trouncing or a good game.
It's going to be a trouncing.
You shut up.
Next, we got the Jaguars at the Colts. Colts favored by 1.5 over under 42.5. This is the tale of what Jaguars team and what Colts team show up. And I don't trust anything in either of those squads to have any feelings in this game.
I like the Jaguars to cover, or with the points, I mean.
But that's the problem. I think that we do, but what if the Jaguars of last week show up?
Yeah, okay, whatever.
You can do whatever you want. That makes me a little bit nervous.
I hear you.
All right. Next, Bengals at Saints. Bengals 1.5 over under 43.5.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'll also
Yes.
know on this one.
Like, you should want to take the Bengals, but the Saints have a solid defense, and this could be a Joe Burrow's on his butt half of this game.
We say that every week, and he's on his butt every week.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, one of those where, like, I'm saying it's happening.
Yeah,
Not we think it's going to happen because the Bengals have a shit offensive line, but it is going to happen.
I agree. Ow, damn.
Next.
Arthritis, bones cracking.
Jets at Packers. Packers minus 7 over under 45.5 points. Whoa.
Oh,
I want to be all over the Packers. I want to be, but the
I'm
Jets keep doing it.
Jets, Jets. JETSBESTBTS.
Jim, any acronyms, any spellings?
Dumb. DUMB. Dumb.
So here's my hesitation. My biggest hesitation is the Packers. They're coming off the travel week to England.
Mm-hmm.
David Bakhtiari, is he still on a limited snap count?
I think he is.
Right. And last week it was Bakhtiari one series, Bakhtiari out one series, Bakhtiari in one series, Takatari out one series. So I'm gonna stay away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Patriots at Browns. Browns favored by 2.5. 43.5 is the over underline.
On this one, honestly, I'm going Patriots.
I want to. I lean that way.
I think Bailey Zappi has another good game. I think
That's the whole reason I'm leaning.
yeah, I feel like Bill Belichick made it pretty clear that it's not Mac Jones' job super securely with the way that Bailey Zappi's been playing. And I'm interested to see if he comes out and shows out again.
How is the Patriots' run defense?
Their defense isn't terrible, but I'm not going to say it's like stand out.
Are they? Think they can stop Chubb?
That's where that is, right? Because I mean, I'm going to defer to Jim on the Jacoby Brissett situation in this game.
He sucks.
Patriots game planning against Jacoby Brissett. Actually, Patriots game planning against the run, and then making Jacoby Brissett beat them, and he has not yet shown that he can do that.
I
Yeah,
think
no.
for me, Bill Belichick's a good enough coach that he realizes the only thing that the Browns have is their run game. And I think that he will make sure that they are prepared to deal with that.
Their
Okay.
receivers, their number one receiver for the Patriots is listed as questionable after today's practice.
He's been questionable for the past 2 or 3 weeks.
He was healthy going into today's practice.
Yeah. Bill Belichick playing mind games. You have to report the injuries no matter how minor they are. So I think Jacoby Myers is going to be a question mark for the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Next, we got the Vikings at the Dolphins. Viking minus 3.5 over under 45.5. I'm going to stay with the Vikings.
Kid from Kansas still throwing the ball for
Right.
the Dolphins. I mean,
Even
who's
if-
throwing
I
the
don't-
ball?
I don't care who's throwing it for the Dolphins. It could be Tua, and I think Tua would be tentative if he's back in the game. So give me the Vikings to control this game and win by a touchdown plus.
Yeah, Tua will not be playing, and I will be staying away from the game. But the Vikings are there. I would take the Vikings if I had to take something.
Okay.
Next, Ravens at Giants. Ravens minus 5.5 over to 44.5.
Giants look good and they're getting the points.
So do you take the over here, 44.5?
Why would you take the Giants with the points?
I don't know about the Giants with the points. That makes me nervous.
Lamar Jackson is always 1 second away from breaking a big one.
Mhm.
So I'm staying away just because my heart says Giants, but my mind is saying that the Ravens, this is a game where they come back with vengeance.
All right, I'll stay away.
Next, 49ers at Falcons. 49ers minus 5.5 over under 44.5. Hammer the Niners, hammer the Niners, hammer the Niners. Cordell Patterson, I believe, is still a question mark in this game.
He's out.
He's out. So yeah, that sign seal delivered. Give
Yeah,
me the 49ers.
Completely on board with that pick.
He is still IR.
No, he's I didn't realize he was on IR. I thought he was
Yep.
out question mark. So yeah, even more of a reason for me to take the Niners to cover.
Love it.
Next, Panthers at Rams. Rams minus 10.5 over under 40.5.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Get
no.
this the hell away from me.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah. Who knows what Panthers team's going to show up?
Or what Rams team's going to show up.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I care about. What Rams team's going to show up?
It's fair. Everybody's staying away. Cardinals at Seahawks. Cardinals minus 2.5 over under 51.5. Back on the Cardinals train. Back on the Cardinals train. Cardinals to cover. Sorry, Alex, against the Seahawks.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Alex?
I'm leaning. I have Seahawks as a leaner.
Muff, why are you hammering the Cardinals?
It's the Seahawks. They've been outperforming on offense, on the offensive side of the ball. And the Cardinals, I think, are in desperation mode to get their season back on track. This is a game.
Isn't that the case all the time?
Yeah, but they usually do, right? They ebb and flow. It's time for the upward trend. Give me the Cardinals to cover.
I kind of like Alex's side in this one.
Hey, no reason that I'm going to say that there is nothing solid as far as statistics information that I can throw at this game. This is truly a field pick.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go leaner.
Next, Bills at Chiefs in the prime time. Best match of the week. Bills minus 2.5 over under 53.5. This is Sunday night football, correct? No,
Yes.
this is Sunday
Still
late
Sunday.
game. Sunday late game.
Yeah.
I want to take the Bills, but I'm going to lean on it.
I like the over.
Right. I feel like
Is
that's going to
that
be a really
gets
sexy pick.
crap.
That's going to be a really sexy pick, Jim. And I'm going to caution you that more often than not, when you have two not high powered offenses, but when you have two really good teams and two competitive teams, they typically don't open up their game plans. Now, that can all go to shit if in the first quarter they both score 7+ points, then I think the game's on. But I envision this being a low scoring first half, and then the adjustments are going to be the difference in that over under.
All right.
In Sunday night football, a matchup for control of the NFC Beast. Cowboys at Eagles. Eagles favored by 6 over under 42.5. Alex, you can stay on the Eagle train?
Yeah, I'm gonna lean Eagles again. I have too many picks this week's my problem. So it's like, what am I gonna come down to? What I'm gonna select? But I like the Eagles still. Jim?
Mine's gonna be all spite if I do it. I would take the Cowboys. I don't want the Eagles to win.
Why?
Well, I mean, the Eagles could win by a field goal and you're still up.
I'm a shy away.
Okay, nobody's talking you out of that one.
Nope.
And in Monday Night Football, Broncos at Chargers. Chargers minus 4.5 over under 45.5. Hammering the Chargers. Hammer all day, every day.
Yes.
I also will be taking the Chargers.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't even believe that we still have to watch a Broncos game because it's only a Monday night game.
Yeah.
Right.
Why have they not? Do they do that in the NFL? Can they flex them out?
At the end of the year, they will.
Okay. I'm like, get the F rid of the Broncos.
Okay. It takes us through the college and NFL slate for the week and brings us to our best bets.
Yeah, I'm not ready for this. This is too much. Just too much pressure.
Alex, you ready?
I made no changes from what I originally went with because every time I make changes, it's when I screw myself. And it is Kobe week. So it's a 10-pick slate because that's the limit.
Good. Why don't you make it 8 to make it the true Kobe week?
Oh,
No, don't do that to me.
well, that's good. I'm with you on that one.
Why would you say that? Now I have to figure this out.
Okay, I'll go.
I can't make it 8.
Okay, I'll still go to make you think about it longer. In the college football world, I'm going to take Ole Miss to cover 14.5 against Auburn. I'm going to take Clemson to cover 3.5 versus Florida State. And I'm going to take Notre Dame to cover big 16.5 against Stanford. And
I still think it's the craziest shit ever.
Crazy works. In the NFL, I'm going to take Commanders money line at the Bears. I'm going to take the Vikings to cover 3.5 versus the Dolphins. The 49ers Falcons under and the 49ers to cover in that game. I'm going to take both sides of that coin. And then I'm going to take the Cardinals to cover 2.5 versus the Seahawks and the Chargers to cover 4.5 versus the Broncos.
Whew, Muff. All right. I think I'm good. I think I know what I'm going to do. I think I know.
I know. If you didn't
Go ahead.
So I've come to a solution for my issue. I'm gonna do one more leaner parlay.
Okay.
One more wiener parlay. What did I say? Wiener parlay?
Yeah, you said wiener.
I was trying to think of a good name for it earlier, like the leaner wiener.
This is the hot dog. The
Yes.
hot dog parlay of death.
The hot dog parlay of loss. So I'm gonna do 8 and 8. I'm gonna have 8 best bets and 8 picks that are leaners. So Kobe, this is for you. Kansas at Oklahoma. This is my best bets. Kansas at Oklahoma, Kansas +9. Penn State at Michigan, Penn State +6.5. Alabama at Tennessee, Tennessee +7. Mississippi State at Kentucky, Mississippi State -4.5. USC at Utah, USC +3.5. Patriots at Browns, Patriots +2.5, 49ers at Falcons, 49ers -5.5, Broncos at Chargers, Chargers -4.5. Those are my best bets. The leaner wiener is I can't decide if I want to do this as 2 parlays or if I just want to own it and just go all 8. Because I was thinking about doing is college and NFL or just one big leaner wiener. Thoughts?
Quit saying leaner wiener.
Do all 3. Do a
Okay.
college leaner, an NFL leaner, and do a big old package
Yep.
wiener.
Good.
You got the cocktail weenies,
Yes.
then you got the jumbo dogs,
Yep.
then you got the foot long.
Yes. So my cocktail weenies are Iowa State at Texas over 49.5, Wisconsin -7.5 at Michigan State, Clemson -3.5 at Florida State, and Washington State +3.5 at Oregon State. My jumbo dog is the Jets +7 versus the Packers, the Seahawks +2.5 versus the Cardinals, the Bills -2.5 at Chiefs, and the Eagles -6 versus the Cowboys. So put those all together and you get my foot long.
Okay, my best bets. I'm taking Tennessee +7 over Alabama. I'm taking Mississippi State -4.5 against Kentucky. Taking Clemson -3.5 against Florida State. Taking Ole Miss -14.5 against Auburn. I'm taking USC +3.5 against Utah. I'm taking the Vikings -3.5 against the Dolphins. I'm taking the Niners. Muff, you screwed me when you went Niners. Oh, you did both.
I did both. Yeah, I'm extending the under with the Niners to cover.
I'm going to take the Niners to cover then, and I'm going to take the Chargers to cover. I am debating still. That's 8. It's Kobe week. I thought about just staying at 8. Probably the fewest bets I've done since we've done the show. But I'm debating that damn UNC at Duke game. I really want to take UNC. Wife says take Duke. I should shy away from it then, correct?
Yes. Stick with your Kobe bets.
I'm gonna stick with my 8. I leave it right there.
But I think you have to publicly apologize to your wife if you leave it off and Duke covers.
And Duke covers. Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I might call Muffnack and sprinkle later.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
Muffnack on the line.
Yeah.
He hasn't made any appearances.
I know.
Maybe
that's the problem.
Here we go. If Alex or I, because Jim, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen for you this week, get above 500 in our overall records after this week, Muffnack will make an appearance.
All right, that's fair. All right, so we need the Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week.
Pow, 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 pow.
What's it going to be?
I think we have 2 options, right?
I think so. We have the 49ers to cover.
And
Chargers.
Or Chargers.
I'm going to go with the 49ers to cover. That's my vote.
I was going to vote 49ers.
All right. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Mike Allstott hits to pick of the week is the 49ers to cover -5.5 versus the Falcons.
Wow.
I think the risky pick should be Muff's Notre Dame pick.
That's not risky.
It's not.
It's not a money line dog, Jim.
I believe that there should be an exception made because I think that's the stupidest pick Muff's ever made.
But we're trying, but it's doing well. So I feel like we should continue the.
Yeah.
I think this is the riskiest pick on the show this year was Muff's pick.
Penn State.
I'm gonna veto that just because I don't want that to be something
We
that
don't
I'm
need
also
no
thinking
juju.
about.
Jets.
Yeah,
I'm still on Muff's pick.
I will toss out for consideration Commanders money line and Patriots money line.
Jim's so mad.
Listen, I'm a creature of habit, Jim. I can't take a favorite to cover for the risky pick of the week.
It's not going to cover.
Well,
And when it does,
That is a
What?
risky pick. It's a
What?
risky damn pick.
but that's not in the nature of the risky pick.
That-
It's always been a money like dog, Jim.
I understand what it's always been, but we're saying that Notre Dame is going to cover that spread.
Yes, I have said that.
Alex, back me up here. Do you believe Notre Dame's going to cover that spread?
Here, if you want to make it a risky pick, make it -20. Alternate spread.
No.
Oh,
I mean, I think that's stupid. You goes from level of risky to just dumb.
nuts.
it's adding points to the original line, which a money line dog is doing that. You're saying you don't care that they're the dog in the game.
Fine. We're advising our listeners to not only follow Muff, but then do something even more stupid. Yeah.
We're doing it -20.
Muff, Alex can step in. He's the voice of reason.
I think that we should keep it a money line dog for posterity. My suggestion is we do a another specialty pick for 1 week.
For the risky pick?
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah, we'll do. I think our risky pick has to stay a money line dog for consistency.
All right, so what's it going to be?
Either the Commanders or the Patriots.
I'm gonna say Patriots.
Yeah, give me something to watch.
Patriots, yeah. Now, I think that we do. Jim just can't believe Muff did that pick. And that will be the
No, Muff's already picked it for his pick, so we don't need to make it a specialty pick. I just get to root Muff losing this pick.
okay.
Fair enough.
It's still gonna be called the Jim just can't believe Muff just did that pick.
Yeah, I think that's the dumbest thing in the world.
And when Muff rides
I
it
will
all the way
eat
to
my- I will eat my
Victory
words.
Town.
Okay,
I said they're gonna win by 3 touchdowns, so
I think
gave
you're
you I
outside
gave
your
you-
damn mind.
gave you an opportunity. All right. Are we retiring the parlay of death?
I don't know. I like it just 'cause it's fun, but
Well, we've got the leaner wiener in there now, so
that's true. We do have the leaner wiener.
Which has a ton more games.
well, it's a three-sided circle.
Let's
Right.
let it ride one more week.
Okay. If we win, we'll keep it up. If we lose, we'll let it perish.
Yeah.
And then come up with something that's probably almost exactly the same thing, but name it something different.
All right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what we'll do. Okay. So the parlay of death automatically has the 9.
And does it have to come with something from our best bets?
That's been what we've done.
I know we're not allowed to change.
I think it's if outside of that, we just have to discuss. You have to sell us on why it's
And you cannot
not a
make
best
it,
bet.
You can't make it
The
No.
UNC?
UNC. Oh, okay. So you would be picking Duke +7?
All right, Jim, I think it's your turn to go first. Then Alex.
Yeah,
and
that's
me.
what I'm asking. I'm asking for, can it be the Duke +7?
I'm not opposed.
It's your pick, Jim.
I'm taking Duke +7.
I'm not opposed to that.
Right, the one that's supposed to be the one that we feel confident about what we put in here is something that's not even on your best bets. So fair enough.
Well, that way, like, if it's gonna die, and I go against my wife. Wait,
And if that's the reason it dies, I'm gonna be upset with you.
If that's the only reason it dies, we'll give it one more chance next week.
No, Jim won't get a pick.
That's fine.
It'll be Alex and Muff's.
That's fine.
And we'll make it 5 picks. So the Mike All Stop +2 of our picks, Alex. It'll be 5 legs.
Fair enough.
Okay, Alex.
He'll be like punished for a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
That's what we should do.
punish.
Whoever loses gets
Is the-
kicked off.
It's the punishment pick. It's the punishment pick. You're out.
It's fair. I can get on board with it.
All right.
And then once we're all out, we have to reset.
Well, no, it's just you're back in that next week. It's
The
whoever
next week.
whoever lost. So
Once
if
we-
Oh,
you're the only one who's picked one, you have
The
to
Punisher parlay.
God, if we lose all of them.
If we all lose, we take a week off, regroup.
Right, fair. I can get on board. I'm in. Alex, your pick?
My pick is going to be give me. I'm between Chargers minus 4.5.
I mean, that's a smart pick.
I do too. I think I'm gonna do it. Chargers minus 4.5 because it's Monday night too. So that's the last one.
Yeah, that's the best pick. I'm the one who went rogue.
Okay.
All right.
Muffin.
I'm going to take the Vikings to cover 3.5
So it's
versus the
truly
Dolphins.
like I'm truly the one getting smoked here if it goes down.
I mean, we could all lose these, but yeah, you're the one that's going out on a limb.
Yeah, I'm the one that's getting the heater on this one. All right.
Here we are.
If you're listening to this show, good grief.
So all the people that aren't listening to this show will never hear that.
They'll never know why we hate each other come Sunday or Monday.
I'll just like when people are like, "What happened to Jim and Muff?" I'll just be like, I'll just send them the link to this.
To this episode right here. And I want to be very clear that I wanted everything that is within me to spite pick you.
What are you gonna pick?
I was putting Notre Dame on there.
Oh, I know. I was waiting. Was totally waiting.
But we've eliminated the spite pick from our
Yes,
vocabulary of the situation. So
absolutely.
all right, that specialty picks, and we'll let Alex. You're not going to do the leaner wiener. You're not going to recite that again. The Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week.
Pow, pow, pow.
You have an ice in your mouth this time. 49ers minus 5.5 versus the Falcons. The Neil Brown risky pick of the week. Patriots money line taking on the Browns, and the Muff parlay of death includes the 49ers cover. Oh, thank you. I always have to remember that we have something there. 49ers to cover versus the Falcons. Vikings to cover versus the Dolphins. Duke plus the points taking on North Carolina, and the Chargers to cover 4.5 versus Let's Ride Broncos.
You know that like Saturday is gonna come. The only game we have in the parlay of death is this Duke game. Duke's gonna hit, and I'll be like, "Let's go, boys! It's all on you fools now."
And if it happens, good on you.
I hope
Good
it
on you
does.
for going outside of the trends and outside of what we've done in the past. So, all right, that brings us to the end of the betting show. As always, follow us at Sports Gym Muff on Instagram and Twitter. Get into the YouTube page. Get on them's vids. Like them, comment, share them with the people, all the people. Get those views up. Because we are trying to make YouTube into a money train. A money train that can fund all of the fun, all of the betting, all of the excitement.
Make up of the deficits.
Make up the deficits that we lose.
Deficits.
Deficits. So when the time comes that all of these bets hit, and we have a perfect week in our Kobe week.
2-4.
When that happens, when it's time, Sunday, when Duke has hit +7, and we are all like, "Oh, Jim, you are super, super smart." And when the time comes on Sunday night, when the Muff parlay of death is alive going into Monday night, we're going to look at each other and we're going to say,
It's about
About
that
that time.
time.